Brooklyn Independent Television.
Hello and welcome to Brooklyn Review. I'm Jenny Passe Rodriguez. Owning a car in New York City can be a real drag. Between traffic jams, gas prices, and the cost of insurance, not to mention the parking, it may feel like you spend more time looking for a spot than enjoying a ride. But there's a new law that could ease your parking perils at least by half. Brian Vines has the story.
This is Kai, a senior producer here at Brooklyn Independent Television, and right now she's on deadline. But it has nothing to do with the segment she's producing. Kai has to move her car.
This is the magic 15-minute window when you can find a parking space.
Right.
Here in this neighborhood. So alternate side ends around 1, so around 1:45 is really when you want to get here to move your car and hope it's not blocked in.
So today you're actually doing double duty.
Yes. I'm moving my car and my husband's car.
So we gotta hurry.
Yes.
Since 1955, drivers in 54 of the city's 59 community districts have been moving their cars to make way for the street sweeper.
Should be open.
As many as 4 times a week. Kai is one of the lucky ones. She and her husband live in Park Slope, where alternate side parking rules dictate they move their cars for street cleaning once a week for 90 minutes.
Oh, look at this. It's wide open over here. Wow.
Now what does the sign say though? Are we allowed? Or
Yes.
do we have to do this tomorrow?
I believe so.
Fun.
So this is the side for Tuesday that's done with alternate side street parking.
So you can stay here for a week.
Yes.
Until next Tuesday.
I can.
Park Slope got a parking break in 2007 when the street cleaning schedule was relaxed after a process that was anything but. Here we are 4 years after these regulations were changed, but this was a process that started 2 decades ago.
We started back in the 80s. My predecessor here actually got the Department of Sanitation to agree to reduce the amount of street sweeping from 4 times a week to 2 times a week in some areas of the district. So we had a patchwork of regulations for many, many years. And from that point forward, we just kept track of the city's records because every month they measure the cleanliness of the streets and the sidewalks. And we'd pop those numbers into a spreadsheet and keep track of it over long periods of time. Eventually, we were able to make the case strong enough back in, I would say, around mid-2000s, that the Department of Sanitation really couldn't ignore the numbers anymore.
Now, a bill fronted by City Council member Brad Lander has become the city's latest law that gives districts that achieve an average cleanliness rating of 90% or higher for 2 preceding fiscal years the right to reduce street cleaning by 1 day. That change can't come quickly enough for Community Board 7's district manager, Jeremy Laufer.
I believe we're the last community between the Brooklyn Bridge and the Verrazano Bridge that still has 4-day-a-week street sweeping. And our community views this as a question of equity, and we've viewed it that way for a long time. Our numbers have bared out that we are pretty close to our neighboring communities when it comes to street cleanliness ratings, and yet we are surrounded by communities that have 2-day-a-week alternate side parking. And to us, it just didn't seem logical why we would have it with similar cleanliness ratings when other communities, some of which actually had lower cleanliness ratings than us, had the 2-day-a-week strategy.
Last year, parking enforcement agents issued over 1.1 million alternate side violations, bringing in nearly $60 million.
Thank you.
For some Brooklynites, the time spent looking for parking and the $45 ticket for not moving your car just don't add up.
I got rid of my car a long time ago. I mean, just for this reason. I mean, it's like, you know, to have a car in the city, I mean, it takes a lot of endurance, you know. It's not easy to do. And they make it tougher and tougher. And like, why? I mean, after a while, it just becomes such a bad thing to have instead of a great thing to have, you know. Like, the vehicle is supposed to take you everywhere. Like, you spend most of your time looking for a parking space, you know. It's insane.
But for those who just can't seem to get from behind the wheel, 2 times a week versus 4 is definitely a welcome alternative. For Brooklyn Review, I'm Brian Vines.
Become a fan on Facebook, like Brooklyn Independent Television.